Hi everyone, today is Tuesday, April 19th. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video, but it's going to be something about these women that they have. Like in the women's world, man, you got to know this shit. That's why I'm working on a couple things where I can reach out to men and, have them in these little secret societies and show them what these women are like. That's part of feminism. And I'm not exaggerating. Seriously, that's part of ethical feminism, is actually to bring the people who have problems with patriarchy over on side, and you know what, have them fight the same battle as us. So I'm reaching out to these patriarchal men, and I'm just like, you know what, you need to know what your friggin' thing that you're fucking doing. And I don't want to sound disrespectful, but you get what you give in life. And I'm going to speak in particular to these, I don't even know what to call them, but they are these non-black women who are with black men. And I just laugh because the males, 100% of the times, the males are like, and I'm just like, if I was with my man and my man looked at a woman like that, I'd be like, hey man, what's going on? You know? And when I look at them, it's funny because I just kind of look at them and it's like they have no self-control. And that tells me right there that, you know what, their soul is not being nurtured. Because if you're really in love with this non-black thing that you're with, you wouldn't be looking at us that way and come on, can you help me, And I notice a lot of that in Canada, for example. Diversity Ontario, they have a lot of these women that are with these non-black women that are with black men, and the black men, their eyes are just going like this, and they're like this sitting, and I'm saying to myself, you know what? If you're just fucking this thing, why are you with that thing? You know? And then I remember one time I was in downtown Toronto with some friends or whatever, and this woman just came up to us, right? A white woman. She looked really dirty. She was big, and I'm not saying big people are dirty, but she was clearly unhygienic smelling and unhygienic looking. And it was a Caucasian woman, and I was with 3 black friends, and we were just like, I can't remember what was going on. There was some kind of festival or something. We're like, hey, let's just get out of, into a different place, let's say. And yeah, this woman, she was walking around, and I was like, why is this woman trying to get our attention? And then the next thing she does is she comes right over to us and she go, "Wagwan." And we all looked at each other like, I'm sorry. And I said to her, I'm sorry, I don't even know what you're saying. And you know what? I have a JA background, so I'm just like, let me listen to this fucking idiot, right? And a wagwan, right? And I looked at her and I said, wow, that's interesting. And then my other friend looked at her and said, why are you talking like that? You sound stupid. And then another one said, listen, man, let's go. And I said, no, seriously, this woman, she wants to know what's going on, so what's her thing, right? So she's like, oh, no, I just wanted to say hi. And then she started speaking, in her comfortable vernacular, I guess. And I said, well, that's all you should have said, is just hi, how are you doing, whatever else you want to say. So I can't remember what the conversation was or whatever. And she was talking about oh yeah, this is great, and you guys look really good, I like your hairs and blah blah blah. That one there, she's dressed really good, and that one over there, she looks really funny, and we're looking at each other like, okay, whatever. Thank you for the compliment. And the next thing that she says to us is, oh, me love them straight off the boat. And that's how she's talking, right? And I said, pardon me? I said, I don't understand what you're saying. What are you really saying? He said, oh no, me love them black, and me love to fuck them straight off the boat. This is a white woman, and I said, you know what, man, let's go, because, this is just a fucking ignorant person and racist. And I'm sharing this to say that, some of you black men, when you just stick your penis in anything that's non-black, what you need to do is you need to really hear some of these ways that these women speak about you. Because what they do is they come to us and they rub into our faces that, they're getting a good fuck, and they talk about, the size of the anatomy, and, they talk about, like, other things like, oh, I just can't wait to go home and get a good fuck. Like, if that's all you see in your significant other, then that's kind of gross, actually. And I was talking to, a special friend of mine, and I was like, what do you think about stuff like this? And we were just sitting there on the beach, and, he dressed me, and we were just sitting there and talking, right? And he's like playing with my feet or whatever. And he said to me, he says, I get it all the time, and I hate it. I really, really hate it. And, he said that sometimes he just wants to tell some of these women where the fuck to go. Like, he was saying he was somewhere, and a woman just took off her panties and just threw them at him, and he was like, I think that's really gross. I think you should pick up that and cover yourself up, and you know what, you don't have to do that to get acknowledged. And I thought that was really nice and classy. So to those non-black women with your black men or whatever, those men are clearly confused, and there's probably other issues too, where they're just, they're either trying to find out their not their homosexuality, they're trying to find out their sexuality, or they're really no good people who are looking to just live off this so-called economic respectability. That whole notion that the whiter you are, the more, assets you have or whatever. And when you don't have like those inner assets, you really have no inner asset. You have no assets. So to those women, I just wanted to say that a lot of us black women, we don't give a shit, because at the end of the day, when they go and educate themselves, they're calling us down saying, look, can you help us, and they get off. They don't have to pay child support, nothing, because they didn't consent to getting fucked over. So think about what you're doing. Seriously, some of you women with black men that are not black women. We don't give a shit. But you know what? They're looking at us when you're not looking. And that tells us that, something is misaligned with their inner. And we have this way of nonverbal communication that you guys will never understand. So you know what? You guys need to get over whatever you're doing. And you know what? Those men will come back to black. And for others, thank you for understanding some of these things that I talk about, these situations, observations. I'm going to continue to talk about them because people are like, oh no, you have to be, politically correct and all this. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not doing it for ABC. I'm doing it for 1, 2, 3 and ABC. So these are things we talk about, and these are things we experience, and don't talk about stuff we don't experience. It's very strange. It's very strange when a person just comes up to you and all of a sudden says, oh, my man bake bread or cake. And then the next, oh yeah, we have pretty children, nice hair, nice nose. And I'm like, no wonder some of these mixed kids, are fucked up. And some of them will call us niggers. And you know what? At the end of the day, they're sleeping in their beds and they're like, oh my God, how do I connect with black? So you know what? Once you're black, you'll never stray from being black. Thanks for watching.